Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast, presents episode 821, Speed Crawling, recorded live on May 5th, 2022. Hello everyone, welcome to Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Duststorm.
And I'm your other co-host, Godzilla D. T. There it is.
D? You sure you know who you are?
Yeah, I think. Well, let me check my name tag. Oh, damn, I'm not wearing it.
Nah. Anyways, so season 2 is here. We've got a little bit of some lore stuff to talk about with the new opening cinematic, which was pretty cool. Some ongoing lore with the multiplayer, some new customization, some more community drama, of course, as with everything that gets
Well,
released.
it is Halo, so you know that everybody, the one thing that has to happen is everybody has to complain.
Well, some people. Not everyone, but sure, some people. So we're going to go ahead and jump on into what we always do at the beginning of our podcast. Let's do the little community recap, starting with our Fraggin' Friday last week. GT, how were things last week?
Went really well. Had a lot of fun. I played like crap. Or normal, If you want to watch, if you want to watch the Podtacular Fraggin' Friday, that will show you how not to play Halo. I'm actually thinking about making my own series on my own channels titled "How Not to Play Halo." It's going to be really tough to produce because all I'll have to do is start streaming and play Halo, and I'll show you all the things not to do while playing Halo.
So you're going to be the anti-Mint Blitz.
Right? Sure.
Okay. Fair enough. We had some good games, though.
Yeah, we had some good games. No thanks to me.
Kind of hopped around.
It was enjoyable. I was getting frustrated because, the lack of a starting range weapon sucks in BTB.
A little bit. A lot of people
at the very
have complained
start
about
of
that.
the map, at the very start of the match, because everybody runs to the range weapons. And so, there's 3 of those or 4, and that means there's 8 other people that have to scrounge around for something other than a BR or a commando or stalker rifle or whatever, Probably would help if I'd play more BTB and actually learn the maps too. But, details.
We had some good games, though. We had a lot of close games. We had actually some decent. Do we get a stockpile?
No,
we
did not play stockpile, thankfully.
I think stockpile was the only map or mode that we didn't play, but we actually got to play on every big team map, which was actually a lot of fun.
That's not hard to do. There's only 3.
No. Overall, though, it was a lot of fun.
Yes, it is.
Lots of good close games.
Enjoyed it a lot. Like I said, I'm just frustrated with my own ineptitude at playing the game.
We've all got that at some point. Yeah,
I've always had it.
I'm still struggling.
It doesn't go away. But anyway.
Well, as long as you're having fun with people that you enjoy, so.
Well, the best part's playing with friends and getting to play with the community as well. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. You also did a little bit more of your Lazo run, I believe, before achieving Halo on Sunday.
I finished. Lasso.
Yay! Bleep,
I got it all done. I got my achievement.
Score. Yes.
Yes, I got gamer score. And then before the update went live, I started a legendary run with the tank gun.
Ooh.
And I am recording that, and I'm probably going to post that up on my own channel. on YouTube, and just a no commentary run. It's cutscenes and everything. So I'll probably break it up into chunks.
I'll have fun with achieving Halo because there's no more tank gun glitch after the season dropped.
Yeah, unfortunately not. But I'll be interesting to see the new strategies they come up with, though. Now that you don't have the tank gun, you cannot jack the Pelican anymore. You can't do the fusion coil launches anymore with the grapple.
Yeah.
Which I'm upset with people that are complaining about that.
Yeah.
I will not deny it was a lot of fun. But I knew from the very beginning that they were glitches and they were going to get fixed.
Yeah. In one part, I kind of appreciate where the speedrunning community is coming from.
I do.
But in another part, it's like kind of the writing was on the wall, I think. That a lot of these
I knew
things
for sure
were
the
not
tank gun
intended.
was going away. The whole Pelican thing, 60-40. And the fusion coil thing, I honestly thought they probably wouldn't even mess with that. But apparently they decided differently. The one thing I have not seen yet is anybody do the excavation site glitch yet.
Well, apparently they took that away.
I haven't heard anybody complain about it yet, at least.
Well, I know that was something that they patched.
Yeah.
Because it was in their patch notes.
Yeah. It's just stuff that I understand why people liked it, but again, they were game breaking.
Yeah. They really were. It kind of...
Well, the fusion coil and the tank gun. The Pelican thing, that was just kind of a neat trick, but...
Yeah, the Pelican thing I was maybe a little bit... Probably didn't need to patch that one out, but definitely the tank gun and the fusion coil was like, okay, yeah, these are definitely game-breaking glitches.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if they patched the hole in the wall without letting people know. I mean, they at least posted in the patch notes in the forums that the other three were getting fixed.
Mm-hmm. Well, with people claiming that Lasso on Infinite is the easiest of all of them, what did you think they were going to do?
Yeah. It is what it is. At this point, I'm not surprised at seeing them patch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's certainly campaign breaking.
No, it's campaign crushing.
I understand.
Especially with the excavation site glitch.
I understand where a lot of speedrunners are upset with changing how the campaign kind of functions. One of the biggest things I've seen being brought up is in every previous Halo game, they haven't really touched the campaign at all as far as the glitches and exploits like they have with Infinite.
But I don't know that they've ever had anything as big as those, have they? Maybe the excavation site glitch. That one, it could be equivalent to some of the other skips that speedrunners have come up with.
I think part of the other thing that you have to realize as well is the difficulty to accomplish some of those exploits. The fact that all four of these exploits were easily doable by just about anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did them. So it's if I can do it, it's way too easy.
It's one thing if Joker, Monopoly, like if they can do it, because obviously they put time and effort into it. Yeah. Mint Blitz. It's another thing if like
me.
There are some speed running techniques that I can do. They're hard for me to do, but there's some that I can do. And same for GT. But there are others that you have to practice over and over and over again, like Silver does and Mint Blitz does, to get them. And I think the fact that these were so easy of glitches to do, that's probably the reason why. And I'd be very surprised if there weren't a few developers on the campaign that were crushed by people just completely exploiting the campaign and be like, well, this kind of renders the campaign.
Yeah. A
moot.
speedrunner that skips 3/4 of the freaking game.
Yeah. Ben says, if we can do it, it's too easy.
Well, it's the truth. Halo 4, there is a skip in the mission where you're on the research station outside the Halo ring.
Yes.
Where they where they have the composer. Well, there's a skip that skips a pretty sizable chunk of the mission. I can't do it. It's a concussion rifle jump, and I just can't pull it off. It doesn't work for me. I just can't make it work.
Yeah. So to me, that's kind of that defining mark. If it's easily doable by your average Halo player, then I think it's definitely broken. Likely to get patched, which I think, in my opinion, that's what happened here.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a good move. Am I sorry the tank gun's gone? Yes, because it was a lot of fun to play with. The whole jacking Pelican thing was fun because it was just neat to be able to fly a Pelican.
Yeah, that one I didn't feel like was game breaking necessarily.
No, although the Pelican could push into places where you weren't supposed to be yet.
Well, you can only do that because you were invincible.
Well, yeah, you could push through certain barriers without being invincible if you were in the Pelican.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that.
You didn't have free reign over the whole map, but there were certain places that you could push through and get to early.
Okay. It was probably the least egregious.
Yeah, it most definitely was.
Out of the 4, I think.
The whole grappling and ground pounding thing, that I kind of hope they didn't fix, because it takes some talent to do that.
That takes a lot of skill, because I haven't been able to get that pulled off.
I was able to get it pulled off, but it didn't happen every time. It took me multiple tries to get it.
Yeah. So, appreciate where some of the history behind the developers haven't really patched things that happened in campaign before, but I think the nature of these exploits really drives home the fact that these needed to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
I sympathize with the speedrunners that are kind of disappointed with this. Another thing is, the only thing that the studio told the community beforehand was that the tank gun was getting patched out. They didn't mention anything else getting patched out until they dropped the patch notes. So I think that kind of fueled the fire. It was like, okay, it's one thing to tell us and patch it out. It's another thing to just patch it out without fair warning.
Well, I don't think they need to give us fair warning on stuff like that.
Technically they don't have to, but it's kind of.
No, I don't think there's any real precedent. When
it's just a courtesy.
No other game, other than in the patch notes, which, now granted, they could have released the patch notes early instead of, exactly when it went live. They could have released the patch notes a couple days early. That's fair enough. But I don't want them to have to take time to put it out on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, say, hey, we're going to take this stuff away from you. I just don't think it needs to be done. Now, the releasing the patch notes early would have been the right call. And I do disagree with how close the patch notes came out to the update.
I think it's something where they don't have to do it, but it's a good gesture and it's a measure of good faith to the community to it's right from a morale's not the right word, but I'm going to use it's right from a morale sense than necessarily a legal sense or a.
No, I'm not saying saying it's it's illegal to do that.
I'm just saying, for lack of better words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically they don't have to tell us anything. In the future,
they'll be more informative when it comes to that kind of stuff. But again, anybody that didn't think that those weren't going to get patched out was just lying to themselves. Now, the one thing that they did patch out, don't get me wrong, I'm sorry to see those things go, but it's better for the campaign that they're gone. The whole Spartan facing weird direction in the game loading screen, where it shows each Spartan. Sadly, I have yet to experience that.
Now, they probably fixed that, or they tried to fix that.
I've had missing
Spartans,
but I've never had them just randomly appear somewhere.
You talking about after patch or just in general?
Well, since the launch of the game.
Oh, okay.
Every once in a while, when they do that opening cinematic of, they show each individual Spartan.
Yep.
I keep seeing these videos where, one Spartan standing like 40 feet over there facing the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
Or is up on top of a box in the background, or standing in front of another Spartan while they do their opening pose. It's stuff like that.
So I think part of that actually comes into the fact that, like, I know when we've played on Frag Friday a few times, we'll hear like shooting before, like while it's still black screen and while the map is loading. I think your characters are actually loaded in before then, so you can actually move around and start shooting, and then whenever the cinematic actually starts, it locks your Spartan into place.
Well, no, in the cinematic, your Spartan will be literally facing the wrong way.
Yeah, I think people may be like moving their sticks and is possibly causing that.
I don't know. It's really weird. That was a glitch. I didn't mind if it would stay because it was kind of funny to just see the different videos of Spartans standing in weird spots. Except for if you're the Spartan that's standing on the edge and you're one of those guys that likes to push forward right when you spawn in.
I don't remember if that was in the patch notes. I don't remember seeing anything about that specific bug being patched, but it's probably just amongst their whole list of other bugs that they're trying to fix. Mm-hmm. And Prestige, yeah, I kind of agree. The coil launching, while I never tried it, it did seem more like a fun thing than necessarily a game-breaking one. But
It was both. It was a fun one, but it was also game-breaking too, because
you could fly across the map if you
figured out the angles. It's how you could use it to get into places, to bypass sections of the campaign. One of the first speed runs utilized coil launching to skip sizable chunks of the campaign.
Okay, that makes sense then. I only just saw the few where like Mint Blitz was flying across the map.
Mm-hmm.
Just randomly, but okay.
Well, I mean, you can still do some of that stuff. Like whenever he's doing his vehicle launches and stuff, all that should still work. I believe it actually does still work. I just haven't seen anything late, as of late, to where he's actually done anything. There's good news.
Mythbusters is going to have a heyday with I haven't checked to see if they did any infinite myths. I think they did, but
yeah, they've done 4 episodes.
And they're gonna have to like either amend them or retest whatever campaign specific ones there were.
The ones that I've seen so far have been all multiplayer based.
Okay.
Since there's no co-op in campaign, they really couldn't. They haven't done anything in campaign yet.
Well, and there's no theater. Yeah. They had to do it all first person, which I mean you could do.
Yeah, they could do it, and it's entirely possible. But
yeah.
Anyway, there's some good news about the Big Team Battle Map. The loot caves now have campaign weapons.
Yes.
So now there's an actual reason to capture the loot caves.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I was kind of wondering if they were going to address, because we've played multiple matches where the opposing team never really even bothered with the loot cave.
But yeah, they were just kind of plain Jane. I mean, there were a couple good things. You could get the active camo and the hammer.
Overshield, hammer,
The Hydra
sniper
skewer.
rifles.
Yeah.
The Hydra is not worth the wait. But adding those special variants to the loot caves, I think will drive a lot more of the battle near those loot caves.
Oh, and as Eric pointed out, loot caves are only on one map.
Right. But they could be coming to other maps too.
Future maps, hopefully, yes.
With this update, I kind of like the idea of the loot cave.
Mm-hmm. If you can actually get weapons that provide you a sizable advantage, then
exactly
the risk reward becomes greater.
Pretty much anything that spawns in the loot cave would actually spawn in the map with the... actually, I think everything would spawn in the map. Somewhere through drop pods or static spawns or... So there was no real reason to go to the loot cave because the weapons were going to show up in just the regular playing of the game anyway. I think it's going to be interesting to see how that changes the fights on that map.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious. We'll probably find out a little bit tomorrow with Dragon Friday, so we'll see. Anything else on here? We got attrition back for the matchmaking playlist.
Yep.
There's endless weapon drills now in the academy.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a new update to Xbox Series S builds to support 120 hertz mode.
Nice.
So for those with the Xbox Series S console, now you can actually game at some higher refresh rate, get some more of those tasty frames per byte.
I tell you what, I've been enjoying it. It's really nice.
I played 3 Last Spartan Standing games before the podcast, and it's interesting. I'm seeing where a lot of people were talking about. There's almost everything there for a battle royale type mode.
There is.
It's like almost a BR, the Last Spartan Standing. It's very close to a battle royale. If you just had like multi-team in there, like maybe do a squad of 3. So if you did 24 players, that would be 8 squads of 3 that you could have. Yeah. Currently with the Last Spartan Standing on Breaker, the only things in the drop pods are active camo and overshield, but you could put weapons in those. So yeah, it seems either something very close to a BR is on possibly the radar of Halo Infinite, or there will be enough options in Forge to make it happen. A lot of people have
really interesting what happens when Forge launches with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I was going to say, I bet Forge is going to be huge, but with how everything has been kind of coming out with Infinite, might want to bridle my tongue a little bit on saying what they're going to come out with.
Well, I have no doubt that Forge will be huge. I'm just curious as to what features are going to be in the Forge, what they've carried over from Halo 5's Forge. Did they bring over everything? And what new things they have added. So,
yeah. Well, we'll have to see.
I'm not a forger, so
yeah,
I won't know.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be plenty of things that we'll get to see. I mean, there'll be the Forge beta.
I'll be interested to see what Duquesne has to say about it, and the guys over at
Forge Hub.
Forge Hub, yes. Rank freeze. What they have to say about it, and what kind of marks they give it, as far as what they call, where they place it in the quality of forging.
Yeah. Come on, September.
Yeah.
Come on, September. And Forge is going to support so much. It'll support the customs arena. It'll support the HCS arena. Like once Forge drops, Halo Infinite's going to transform. It really is.
I'm waiting to see if you can pull off Speed Halo in
I hope so. With how wonky the hogs were before some of the additional tweaks they made to the hog, which apparently they added 170 pounds or something like that to the hog weight-wise in the game. With how often they tip over.
So you can't run over a pebble and flip?
Yeah. Yeah. So if you have a chance to go and check out the patch notes, there are some really intricate, detailed notes that they provided. Like this page is quite long on things that they did, and there's like expansions for each thing. So each thing has minuscule level details of notes that was done. But the mass was increased from 3,130 pounds to 3,300 pounds. They increased the inertia tensor scale, which controls the resistance to change from 30% to 80%. They moved the driver camber position. They moved the rear tires back. They moved the rear tires out. They moved the front tires out and down. They changed how much the tires dip into geometry. Like, there's a crap ton of minuscule detail in every little piece that they touched with this update.
Hey, Pins, hog run?
So if you want to check out everything,
drive the hog all over again.
A little bit. So lots of updates. I have not looked through this whole thing yet, but there's a whole.
One of the things that I really like, that if you stick a grenade in a tank, it kills the tank instantly, not just puts it in overload timer or death timer.
Okay.
So that was a good change. I appreciated that.
Like I said, I haven't had a chance to read through the full notes. We'll probably read through it this week and then come back next week with a little bit more of a thorough run through on some of the updates. And actually, once we have a chance to play all the new stuff, come back with the thoughts on that too.
Yeah, this one's kind of the flying by the seat of our pants night.
Yeah, pretty much. It's let's get an episode out just because it is podcast night and there's a couple things to talk about, and then let's go play. So that's what we're doing tonight. Let's see. Any other? No, that was the screenshot from Twitter that was pretty much dropped. So all those different campaign fixes that everyone was up in arms about. Yeah. On the MCC side of things, there's 2 new nameplates that you can get if you log into Halo MCC this month. There's the Mental Health Awareness Month nameplate, and then there's the Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month nameplate that you can pick up in MCC. So all you have to do is just log into the game, and you'll be able to claim your nameplate. On the HCS side of things, Kansas City happened this past weekend, and congratulations to Sentinels for taking home the gold. It was a pretty tough battle, kind of climbing up through Cloud9. Cloud9 seemed to be kind of the favorite going into the beginning of the weekend. They were getting a lot of good matches out, a lot of 3-0s, 3-1s on the Cloud9 side, but Sentinels clutched it in and pulled through, and they got their trophy from this weekend. So congrats to Sentinels.
Yes, congrats to Sentinels, and thank you for leaving town because my traffic patterns were all screwed up.
Were they really?
No, I have no idea. I don't go down to Kansas City.
Okay.
I just thought I'd make a funny.
The old Tox, the old Greenwall, Team Optic, like this whole squad has been together for a while, and they keep proving their worth. So congrats to them for everything that they did this weekend.
Got skills.
They do.
Because obviously I don't. Anyway.
Also, congratulations to Walshy for earning a Lifetime Achievement Award in esports.
Well, congratulations.
Much deserved.
Definitely.
He uploaded a little his acceptance speech of the award to his YouTube. So for people that want to go and see who he was thanking, and he went back to like all the way into high school when he was thanking teachers and his wrestling coaches and all his parents and siblings for everything that they did to support him. So it was cool. Walshy definitely has been a positive influence and contribution to the competitive Halo scene, and is definitely worthy of that award, I believe.
Oh, most definitely. He's definitely been a huge part of that. As everybody knows, I don't follow the competitive Halo very closely. Most of what I find out about it is what we talk about on the podcasts. Mostly Dust talks about on the podcast. But I know who Walshy is. And I know what he has done for the community just over the years. And it's well deserved.
Yeah. I don't know where the esports awards were, Rets. It was just something that popped up on Twitter, and I saw it on my YouTube feed. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I don't know where it was streamed, if it was streamed, but yeah, apparently it was a thing. Also, several content creators were out at Kansas City raising money for Make-A-Wish, and they raised over $24,000 for Make-A-Wish during the weekend. So there's folks like Taquin, Ubernick, Real Life Spartan, Oath, and quite a few others who were there streaming throughout the entire weekend. So congrats to you guys for raising quite a bit of money for charity. That's really impressive. Good job.
I feel bad that I was too tired to go down there on Sunday. Thanks, Dust.
There will always be other opportunities.
I'm actually really happy that they brought that event to the central United States. Not necessarily Kansas City, but just where it's accessible by the middle part of the country.
Yeah.
More easily.
Well, during the MLG days in the 2000s, the central event was pretty much Dallas.
Yeah. That's, more south.
Yeah.
I mean, we're central.
So, yes, actual, like, nearly dead smack middle in the country. Yes.
Well, it's just that not a lot of events like that happen close to me. We do have a Comic-Con, but it's not even close to what happens on the East or West Coast.
Yeah.
It's pretty small time compared to, the big events on the coast. So it's kind of nice to have that stuff come closer to home.
Sure. Yep. Other than some of the patch stuff, the only other thing that we really have to talk about is the launch of Season 2 for multiplayer. And with that, we got some new multiplayer lore. So for those that haven't had a chance to watch the intro cinematic for Season 2 yet, we're going to enter spoiler territories for a little bit. So fast forward about 5 minutes or so. We've got a whole sloth new of characters. We got a couple of quick drops during the stream that 343 put out, introducing some of the Season 2 content, which was Spartan Elkind and Spartan Dean. But then we also have a new character, Iratus, who is a banished AI. And this isn't your traditional Covenant AI. No, this is like banished, obviously harbored some kind of AI during the downfall of Cortana or something like that, and managed to pull together their own artificial intelligence construct that is similarly or on par with some human AI.
Yeah.
So there's a whole story behind Spartan Dean going in, finding an opportunity, as they put it in the cutscene, managed to grab this AI, which has basically incapacitated the Spartan in the suit. And after jacking in, we get to see the true nature of the AI, what the kind of purpose of the Season 2 is with the training. Have you watched both cutscenes yet, GT?
No, I have not.
Oh, so this is a little spoiler for you.
I've seen one. I haven't seen the other one yet.
Okay. Because they actually played out of order for me, so I got the second cutscene.
Yeah.
Before the first one.
Nice.
The one that they tell you, okay, here's the plan for actually rescuing Spartan Din and getting the AI out of his head. So, yeah, there's a two-parter as far as the opening scene goes for Season 2. So this will be fun. There's a lot in the cannon fodder behind these characters, behind more of what this story is going to be about. So if you want to learn more details, go ahead and head on over to the latest canon fodder. There's also some stuff in here about the new maps. Map lore is always an interesting thing to look at. Remember when a lot of the lore YouTubers would go into just based on the descriptions that Bungie would put in the map in the game and just kind of add on that and like see how it connects to all the other lore? Because all of the little descriptions tied into either books or campaigns or something. So being able to connect all those dots was always really interesting to see.
Yeah.
But now Canon Fodder just kind of lays it out all for us.
Yeah, it does help. I have to admit, I love the banished AI's avatar.
That's cool. It's wicked, isn't it?
It's not exactly... I like how they make it almost like a puppet.
It kind of reminds me of... What's that, like, floating mask from Crash Bandicoot?
I don't know. I never played the game. But yeah, it's freaking hilarious.
Wait, I'm referencing a game you've never played?
There's lots of games I've never played. And you have to understand that...
Pens, mark this moment down.
The first game console I actually owned was a PS1. Previous to that, I played on my
Nintendo
brother's
game.
Super Nintendo.
Okay.
And the only thing I played on that was Mario Brothers and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Okay.
I do have a very limited library of video games that I've played.
I just thought Crash Bandicoot was just one of those, even if you didn't play it, you kind of knew what it was, but I guess
I know what it is, but I don't know the story behind it.
Oh no, it was a Crash Bandicoot, or it was a PS exclusive. Okay.
Yeah. But
between 96 and
back when I got when I was doing my PS1, I was into driving games. Gran Turismo 2, Driver, NASCAR, stuff like that. Then I moved into Xbox, where I pretty much played Halo. And I played Halo. And I played more Halo. And then I played some more Halo.
And after that, I'm guessing it was more Halo?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
I'm just surprised that I threw out a video game reference that you didn't get. I just thought that was...
I have not played... my video game knowledge is relatively narrow. Crash Bandicoot, I know who the character is. I have seen the game. I've never played the game.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm referring to Aku Aku from Crash Bandicoot, the kind of floating mask with the feathers on its head. So that's just what it reminded me of. Long tangent. Sorry about that. We've also... Right. So as far as seasonal stuff, the current event is Interference. It's the first event for this season. And then Fractured Entrenched, the kind of actual longer season feature, is going to be starting on May 24th. So we've got a couple weeks of this Interference. I haven't, again, read through everything to kind of figure out whether or not the next narrative drop is going to be after this first event or not. It seems like it might be just based on naming, but really don't know quite yet. But we'll have to wait and see. So that's all the stuff that we had to talk about tonight. We want to go and play some Halo, so quick wrap up of things. You can follow our socials. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Hop on over to our Discord, podtacular.com/Discord. That's where the community hangs out. We've also got a number of ways that you can find our content. We are on Twitch for our live streams, YouTube. You can catch our podcast every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Fragging Friday, hosted by Chi at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Fridays. And then Achieving Halo, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Sundays. And that is going to be actually changing real soon because I have to actually go back into work. No more teleworking from home.
I thought you already did that.
Nope. That starts next week. So we'll be doing Achieving Halo on Sundays while we try to get Prestige through his first run through of Halo 5 Guardians. Once we get to the end of that, I'm going to reevaluate when is going to be the best time for me to do Achieving Halo throughout the week, and I'll make an announcement for when we make that change. Thanks to our patrons over on Patreon. We have Confal, Pins, and Prestige, who have been loyally supporting us over there for more than a year at this point. So thank you all for the support that you have over there. If you want to support us monetarily, you can do so by subscribing to us on Twitch, becoming a patron, or donating to us by going to podtacular.com/donate, and you can do that through PayPal. Otherwise, just reviews on podcasting platforms and word of mouth is a great avenue to get us shared out there as well. GT, any final comments, thoughts before we jump on into Season 2 on our own?
No, we got everything covered this time.
Nice little small package. Get a little bit shorter episode today. All right, thanks everyone for listening. For those in the live stream chat, if you want to hop in with us to do some King of the Hill or some BTB, feel free to go ahead and launch those games on PC, start up those consoles. We're going to go on to a break. We'll be right back. But for everyone else that's going to be heading out, and to all our podcast listeners, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Keep on fragging them trucks.